I mean, if it's just us, we don't need to keep any strict agenda or anything. So let's maybe just start, and if somebody joins later, they'll catch up, and maybe we'll hear from them as well.
Yeah. Okay. I think we can start.
Yeah, I mean, it's more or less we don't have, at least I don't have any concrete topics, but I assume that you might want to talk about the PR that's ongoing on something else from the N9 side.
Yeah, to be honest, I personally do not have any questions because we have already discussed the major ideas and the changes which had to be implemented into it. So I have already actually applied it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I joined to listen to you.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to say something about
Uh,
new ideas.
yeah, the three of us, we more or less work together. I guess
Mm,
there might have been more discussions if, for example, Stack IT joined on somebody else. So we don't really bring anything right now. Only thing that we discussed today, we might, after we merge our PR, and do an additional fix. I think that Daniel already opened the PR for today. It's about service bindings, creating a named binding, which currently doesn't work. I think after that, we agreed that we might actually cut the release already, which means that you're going to get your thing pretty soon,
yeah.
which, yeah, I hope that's helpful for you. And apart from that, uh, I can't think of anything super interesting, to be honest, to mention. We have been mainly working on cutting costs and some internal SAP stuff about the internal Corify usage. So,
Actually, also worked on getting the controllers deployment together back to a single deployment.
oh yeah, that's actually, maybe that's
Uh,
important.
Yeah, thinking was that back in time when we split those, we thought that people might be interested into configuring resource limits per deployment. For example, you may think that an app controller might be more loaded than, for example, the root controller because you basically push apps and seldom create roots or service instances whatever. But that brought quite some significant complications in our Helm chart, and we haven't heard anyone using it. So we sort of decided to bring it back to a single deployment, which simplifies things a lot. And we've
Mm.
also removed the debug property in the Helm chart, meaning that you can no longer attach to a controller using a debugger. We don't use a debugger, and that's another level of complexity that we managed to get rid of.
I think the main issue with that was a couple of things. Basically, we had tons of Docker files for every controller deployment for debugging. So we had 2 Docker files per deployment. We had a couple of deployments, so we drastically reduced those. Docker files mean that Dependabot was constantly bombarding us with bumps of things in those Docker files, and it was really annoying, and it was making our CI crowded. And that's one thing. Another thing is that the debugging itself, we never used it. I think our American colleagues used it a long time ago. Um, but it actually is available in the Helm chart of past Corify releases. You can deploy them with debug and open up insecure ports and things like that. And we think it's much more easy to reason about, much more simple if we simply don't open those ports. So right now we open, I think, only 3 ports, HTTP, HTTPS, and the registry for the local deployment, and that's about it really. So the Helm chart is much more rigid, which means it's also more secure and easier to work it. So I guess unless you like debugging with Delph, I don't know if you do that. If you do that,
No.
yeah. If you don't do that, then we're on the same page. If somebody wants to do that, we might consider bringing it back. But honestly, we don't really like the complexity it brings, and we don't use the feature. So that's why we went that way. Maybe we should have discussed it up front, but yeah, it's causing so much hassle for our team that we sort of decided to just get rid of the of these features. But yeah,
And
you can
also we don't know
tell.
whether it works because we don't use it.
Yeah, but if you do use it and you're
Yeah.
missing it, or the multiple controller deployments thing, I guess you can also tell your colleagues. I mean, we're open up for discussion if you want to bring some of this back. I doubt that someone was making use of this, so that's why we decided to get rid of it. And yeah, that's really it. I mean, if there are no topics and there's nothing to discuss, we don't need to hang anymore. But if you, I don't know, if you have also future plans for PRs that you want to share, I mean, anything.
Yeah, usually I inform you about the issues only when I detect them in our clusters because, yeah, of course, I don't dive deep into the code, into APIs, as I remember Eugene from my company. He prepared some PRs for API extension, I think,
Yeah.
on the last month or couple of months. Yeah. So yeah, I mostly work with Corify as a platform engineer. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
fine.
when something doesn't work, I try to fix it manually by myself by fixing something. If it doesn't help, then I go to you and yeah, just try to improve the Helm charts or something related to the topic.
By the way, out of curiosity, how do you use Corify with Argo? I'm just interested in the use case.
Yeah, basically we have, let's say, two different GitHub repositories. One repo is base, where we store all the applications for the Kubernetes cluster, like let's say Sort Manager, Prometheus stack, Corify, and so on. We define via customize YAML files base configuration for all of this. And then on the customer environments, on customer repositories, we only call this base repo, also add some patches in case it's needed, and deploy via Argo CD.
I see.
Yeah, there is nothing super complex, but
You
at least
mentioned
Argo.
customers. Are there any?
Not yet at the
Yet.
moment. We only work internally with Corify, with our products such as Clutch. Yeah. But
Yeah, that's internal customers are also interesting. I mean that from our point of view, your internal customers are our external customers. So yeah, if you happen to have some use cases that you see problems with, you can help.
yeah, and by the way, I also applied my proposal for the upcoming KubeCon and Container Days in the next year. And one of the proposals is about Corify. So if I will be approved, maybe I would, yeah, I would actually appreciate if you could help me somehow with maybe some base information about the Corify project.
Sure.
Yeah.
When is that taking place?
Container
April.
Days takes place in February in London, and container and yeah, the second one, KubeCon in March in Amsterdam, I think. Yeah. So at least I have 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
To prepare. Yeah.
Yeah, if you need some sort of information, you can reach out. I think we should be able to help, so that's no problem. And if we manage to make it, we haven't filed any call for papers, but who knows, maybe we can get budget, then we could even meet there. But yeah, we haven't really thought about it yet. We should see. I think Ram sort of suggested that we submit something, but I don't think we'll have resources to speak at KubeCon in March. But we'll see. We might actually try offer to help with the boot. I think that's one way to get there. But yeah, we'll have to think more about it.
Yeah.
But sure, we can help you with any kind of information if something's not clear, architecture stuff. And also, if you're using it with Clutch, I mean, if you're using Corefi with Clutch and services, something that we're going to release is might be interesting to you. Is the named bindings use case where you can create binding to one and the same service multiple times. It turns out it's currently broken, but we have fixed it. And I don't know if that can enable some use case for you. And yeah, if you find something that's broken, just open issues and we'll figure it out. But it
Okay,
looks
yeah.
like we're asking about these customers and things because right now it looks like Corefi is sort of like it's incomplete. A lot of APIs are missing, but it looks like it's complete enough so that it's usable somehow. And it will be interesting to find maybe the next API that's really important to implement, right? For some realistic use cases, because otherwise you can go about it on and on forever, and you might not even be able to achieve 100% completeness at any point. So that's why we're asking.
Yeah, and as I know, we are also going to discuss in our team, in my company, what is still missing and crucial for us to use Corefi on the production layer. So as soon as we finish this discussion and task, of course, we will inform you and try to contribute as well to increase implementation speed.
Cool.
Yeah,
That sounds great.
yeah. So actually, no more questions from my side for today.
Maybe we can use the remaining time to talk about your PR, Vasily. So, Georgi, what do you think about our migration strategy with this?
I honestly I didn't really look into it, so maybe.
So thing is that till now our Helm chart used to create this Corefi gateway namespace, and therefore it's annotated as managed by Helm. And now we don't want to manage it by Helm. We want the user to create it himself, right? So this means that if you remove creating the gateway namespace from the Helm chart because of various reasons I have outlined, when you do an upgrade, Helm would see that this namespace is no longer listed in the templates, and therefore it's just going to delete it. And it's not going to create the gateway, which means that you have a Corefi without a gateway. Now, at this point, if you run the upgrade again with the same values, it would, well, first create the namespace and run the upgrade. It is going to create the gateway for you, and basically this is fixed. But this is quite awkward. An alternative would be just to annotate the existing Corefi gateway namespace with this keep policy Helm annotation before running the upgrade, which basically tells Helm not to bother to track this namespace anymore, and the upgrade succeeds. But this is a manual step that you have to run before running the upgrade.
I think we anyway have to mention something about this change in the release notes. I wouldn't even call it breaking change, but like warning. Because it's not, well, maybe it is breaking, because as you mentioned, if you don't do anything, it's going to break silently. So maybe it should be breaking changes, and we'll explain, and then we'll propose that you just manually annotate the namespace. I think that should be fine. It's a little
that
bit
was
of
my thinking as well.
Yeah, it's inconvenient, but at least we're going to put it with the red light so that people don't miss it. Then it's a one-time thing. I think we can accept it. It's not the end of the world. It's not some complex migration.
Do you think it makes sense to put some warning on the Helm chart README as well, the one that you see on Artifact Hub?
Maybe maybe I don't
Maybe we
know
could put
how.
something generic like before running an upgrade, make sure to check latest release notes or something.
Yeah, something generic will be best because it will be too much effort to maintain, to double maintain the breaking changes in these things. So maybe we can put a warning sign, check the latest release notes, look for breaking changes and things like that. Ideally, but no, I mean release notes are just a different artifact from the README.
Yeah.
They're just different.
Hmm.
And we don't produce per version README for Artifactory. We just don't.
Yep.
So we could start doing that, but I don't know how complex that would be, or we can just put something generic there. I guess we'll have to decide when we cut the release.
Okay, so we're going with the release notes. Today I can alter our CI scripts to actually handle this.
Yeah, we'll have to do
Because-
it ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Cool. All right. If there are no more things to discuss, we might as well go do something useful for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for the
Thank you, Vasily,
information.
for attending.
Nice
Yeah.
talking to you.
I hope we see you again in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I hope to.
Bye bye.
All right. Have
Bye.
a nice day.